Welcome back. Apart from Professor Koinsola Ajayi, some other lawyers have been speaking about the judiciary and its challenges. Some even proffer solutions for improvement.
Nigeria as a nation needs to look at the process of appointing judges into our various courts. We must review the process to be sure that those that are appointed are those that are really ready for the job, because it's not something that it's not like every other occupation. It's something that is what requires, it's a profession that requires what I call people of integrity, people who are competent, people who are hardworking, and those that understand that judges are like people standing in the place of God.
They should employ some academics, very brilliant academics, and some specialists in different areas of commerce into the Supreme Court. If it means amendment of constitution to increase the number of judges or justices at the Supreme Court, they should do that. Because right now what we are getting is you get 2-3 years adjournment. That's another area they need to work on. In fact, they might have to separate or have departments in the Supreme Court. This idea of having just one Supreme Court is not working, because cases are there forever.
The courts are congested. There are so many cases in courts, which makes the volume of work to be too much. And then this stalls the speed with which cases are dispensed in courts. And I say, for example, with the Court of Appeal and Federal High Court here, there are so many cases in this court, and especially at the Court of Appeal, sometimes you get an adjournment of 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and that's because they have so much to handle. So I think if parties can choose, first of all, try alternative dispute resolution before resorting to courts, it will help lessen the volume of cases that come to courts in the end. So that's one solution I would recommend. Then I would also recommend that the courtrooms be made a bit spacious because of the number of lawyers that come daily, so that they don't have to squeeze themselves, step on each other, or maybe even start fainting in courts. Like the Federal High Court here, if the new building at Bodilum can be completed on time and then we can move there, I think that would be better for us.
The judiciary without financial autonomy, I think that's one of the biggest problems, because it is the executive that controls their budget, while constitutionally it is supposed to be a separate arm of the government, independent of the judiciary, be it politically or whatever. We need more judges. Like the other day, a judge was saying that they have been hinted from the registry that there are over 1,400 matters pending. The same thing with Federal High Court. The other day they were saying that over close to 2,000 matters are pending. They've not even assigned them because they don't know how to do. So I think appointing more judges, and then appointing the judges to nowadays is based on sentiment, nepotism, and then you now find out it is their children that are there. His father was once a high court judge. His father is a senior advocate of Nigeria. His father is at the Court of Appeal. His father is at the Supreme Court. His father is a politician. This is what kills the judiciary.
And just before we wrap up the show, let's check out some of the top stories that made the rounds before the courts went on holidays.
We'll begin with the report that the Department of State Services has released the convener of the Revolution Now protest, Mr. Omoyele Sowore, as well as the former National Security Advisor, Colonel Sambo Dasuki. The Attorney General and the Minister of Justice, Mr. Abubakar Malami, says the duo were released in compliance with the orders of the court. After regaining his freedom, Sowore was escorted out of the headquarters of the service by one of his lawyers. As he departed from the DSS office, the activists chanted "Revolution Now and Forever" and wished Nigerians a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to Nigeria.
He and his co-defendant, Olawale Bakare, are standing trial on a 16-count charge bordering on treasonable felony and money laundering, all of which they pleaded not guilty to. On his part, the former National Security Advisor, Colonel Sambo Dasuki, regained his freedom after spending more than 4 years in detention. Meanwhile, senior advocate of Nigeria and human rights activist Mr. Femi Falana says President Buhari's administration has now embraced the rule of law. The Attorney General of the Federation, Mr. Malami, should ensure that all valid and subsisting orders of court are obeyed in accordance with the Section 287 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The senior advocate also called for the release of the leader of the Islamic movement in Nigeria, Ibrahim El-Zakzaki, and his wife Zainat, who were arrested in December 2015, as well as others he described as political detainees and criminal suspects still in detention. In Maiduguri, Borno State, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has arraigned Aisha Wakil, popularly known as Mama Boko Haram, and one other person, Tahiru Daura, before Justice Aisha Kumalia of the Borno State High Court. They were charged with 3 counts of conspiracy and cheating to the tune of 66 million naira. Wakil was reportedly involved in peace talks with the Boko Haram insurgents initiated by the administration of the former president, Goodluck Jonathan. She became known as Mama Boko Haram on account of her links to the terrorist group. The prosecution of the duo followed a petition against them by a non-governmental organization, Complete Care and AIDS Foundation, run by the defendants. The petitioner alleged that in 2018, Complete Care and AIDS Foundation awarded his company a contract to supply processed maize grains worth 51 million naira, which Wakil allegedly received on behalf of the foundation. The petitioner also alleges that she dishonestly induced her co-defendant and they both diverted the funds. A defendant pleaded not guilty to the count and Justice Kumalia granted them bail in the sum of 30 million naira with 2 sureties in like sum. In Lagos, the Federal High Court has refused to grant a post-conviction bail to the former governor of Abia State, Senator Orji Uzor Kalu. Justice Mohammed Liman held that the bail application lacks merit. The judge also ordered that he should remain in prison custody pending the decision of the Court of Appeal where he is challenging his conviction on a 7.6 billion naira fraud. Orji Uzor Kalu was convicted and jailed for 12 years on December 4, 2019 by Justice Mohammed Idris. He swiftly proceeded to the Court of Appeal to challenge the judgment. He also filed an application to be released from prison on bail pending the outcome of his appeal. In the post-conviction bail application, the former governor claimed he was battling some health challenges which the medical facility in the prison could not handle. Kalu, who is the chief whip of the Senate and the lawmaker representing Abia North at the National Assembly, also asked the court to release him on bail in the interest of the people he represents. The EFCC, however, countered that there is no recent medical report to show his state of health. Justice Liman, who heard the bail application, wondered at the spirit behind the speedy filing of the application, especially when the appeal against his conviction had not been heard. And we round up with the report that the Ondo State government has charged Prophet Babatunde Alfa and 6 other persons to court over the disappearance of a 1-year-old boy, Gold Kolawole. Kolawole was declared missing on November 10 during a service at the children's section of the Sotitobire Praying Ministry, Akure. The boy's family had accused the prophet and his church of negligence over the matter, while the latter had also claimed that the family threatened him with thugs. Last week, angry youth burnt down the church after the corpse of a 12-month-old baby was allegedly exhumed from its premises. The charges against the prophet include conspiracy to commit felony to kidnap and aiding the kidnapping. One of the other 6 defendants, Peter Anjorin, was charged with destroying evidence that would have aided the speedy investigation of the matter. The defendants have been remanded at the Olokuta Correctional Center, Akure, till the next adjourned date of January 17, 2020.
And that's our program this week. Thank you very much for watching. 2020 promises to be exciting, so let's do our bit to always uphold the rule of law. I'm Shola Shieli. Bye for now.